Hello everyone, today I will talk to you all about Down syndrome. One may ask, what is Down syndrome? According to the National Down Syndrome Society, in every cell in the human body there is a nucleus where genetic material is stored in genes. Genes carry the codes responsible for all of our inherited traits and are grouped along rod-like structures called chromosomes. Typically, the nucleus of each cell contains 23 pairs of chromosomes, half of which are inherited from each parent. Down syndrome occurs when an individual has a full or partial extra copies of chromosome 21. This additional genetic material alters the course of development and causes the characteristics associated with Down syndrome. A few of the common physical traits of Down syndrome are low muscle tone, small stature, an upward slant to the eyes, and a single deep crease across the center of the palm. Although each person with Down syndrome is a unique individual and may possess these characteristics to different degrees or not at all. When are people diagnosed with Down syndrome? There are two categories of tests for Down syndrome that can be performed before a baby is born: screening tests and diagnostic tests. Prenatal screens estimate the chance of the fetus having Down syndrome. These tests do not tell you for sure whether your fetus has Down syndrome. They only provide a probability. Diagnostic tests, on the other hand, can provide a definitive diagnosis with almost 100% accuracy. As stated earlier, Down syndrome is usually identified at birth by the presence of certain physical traits: low muscle tone, a single deep crease across the palm of the hand, a slightly flattened facial profile, and an upward slant to the eyes. Because these features may be present in babies without Down syndrome, a chromosomal analysis called a karyotype is done to confirm the diagnosis. One may ask, how common is Down syndrome? According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, approximately 1 in every 700 babies in the United States is born with Down syndrome, making Down syndrome the most common chromosomal condition. About 6,000 babies with Down syndrome are born in the United States each year. According to the picture on the right, a person whose maternal age 20, incidence of Down syndrome is 1 in 2,000. A person whose maternal age is 49, incidence of Down syndrome is 1 in 10. So according to the chart, a person whose maternal age is 20 to 30 has a less chance of having a baby with Down syndrome than a person whose maternal age is 40 to 49. Educational approaches. According to the NDSS, students with Down syndrome may go to school. However, they may need more time to complete their assignments. Students with Down syndrome can learn the same skills as their classmates. Some educational tips and strategies to use when teaching a student who has Down syndrome could be used: teaching methods that involve cues and objects, pair pictures with spoken words, present information visually, avoid large group and whole class instructions as they are least effective. Use labeling or verbal association. Repetition is the key to learning. Assign fewer problems to a page. Give students more freedom to choose their work activities. Foster independence and self-reliance by balancing developmental and chronological needs as higher academic expectations are set in the classroom. When presenting independent work, try to divide it into small segments. For example, you could fold tests in half. Allow extra time to complete tasks. Reduce length of assignments. These are a few educational tips and strategies. There are more. Down syndrome awareness. October is Down syndrome awareness month, and every year World Down Syndrome Day is celebrated on March 21st. The Down syndrome awareness colors are blue and yellow. You could become a member of the NADS to help raise awareness and money. Things you could do by becoming a member of the NADS: you could purchase a yard sign from the NADS and display it proudly in your yard for the month of October. You could have your local school purchase a yard sign and place it in their yard. You could make a donation to the NADS. You could become a member. You could educate your family and friends. Also, you could support the NADS basket program for new partners. There are a number of things you could do in order to raise more awareness to Down syndrome. Here's my reference page. I hope you all enjoyed listening, and I hope that this brought you more awareness to Down syndrome.